Hello, this is Nemesis with another video review. This is the Transformers Titans Return Voyager class Blitz Wing with Hazard. And yes, you can see he's a tank. He's a mostly gray tank with some purple on the back. But, of course, you know, he's a figure and he's Voyager and he's Transformer. But, of course, we have the box, which, yes, you can see again, ages 8+, Transformers on the side. Artwork and his name in multiple languages and the Autobot symbol, and he's a triple changer on the top. You have the Decepticon logo on the side. You have the Decepticon logo on the side. This other side, you have artwork again of Blitzwing. On the bottom, you have a bunch of copyrights and whatnot and barcodes and authentic Transformers. And on the back, you have the renders of the figure and a bit of a, let's see if you can, bit of the bio. Of course, small one, multiple languages, renders, and other figures you can buy. The play pattern of the line, warnings, and copyrights again, once again, Hasbro. So that is that for the box. Blitzwing also comes with, of course, his instructions, which, you know, typical Transformers instructions. Nothing fancy, but they work. And of course his card, his tech spec card, which again has really nice artwork. And on the back, of course, you have the tech specs of the figure or the character. So yes, this is Blitzwing. The Blitzwing, and of course he is a tank. And as you can see, also he's got a gun on the side and a sword on the back, which are his robot mode weapons. Yes, they can store in this mode on the side like that, but that's that. Yeah, he's a gray in the front, or that tan in the front, desert tan in the front. He's a purple in the back. You can see some of the stickers here are very silver. Some of them you can see also they're peeling a little tiny bit because they're right next to moving joints. Fortunately, I'm not sure if this is a universal problem, but on mine, some parts don't like to sit properly. So what happens is he kind of has a tendency to wobble a bit in this tank mode. He can roll though. He has little wheels. Right here, just little wheels, but he can roll. His turret can actually rotate full 360, which is nice. And he rolls. Sort of. I mean, again, these parts down here aren't quite lining up like they're supposed to, and I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong there, or if it's just a flaw with the mold. Yeah, and you can see his Titan Master just kind of chills out up here. He's not fully enclosed. There's a little Decepticon sticker right here on the window. Yeah, it opens and closes. Have it without the Titan Master if you want. Titan Master, no paint again, just unpainted gray and tan. There's nice sculpting in there, but you know, thankfully because of the gunmetal, it kind of, you can see the sculpting a bit better than you would otherwise. But unfortunately, again, no paint, which it seems to have finally been changing with like the recent deluxes, but this still has the unpainted plastic on the Titan Masters, unfortunately. So that's that. So anyway, yeah, he will of course transform into the other half, but it's Blitzwing, so he turns into a jet as well. And to get there, first thing you want to do is untab these wings. They kind of clip on these little white parts right here. I want to untap those and move the turret up like that. From there, you want to untab the treads from the side, and they can hold on pretty well. That's for sure. They definitely like to hold on. Untab those. And also you want to take these parts right here, and spin them up so this little tab is sitting perpendicular to this tab is spinning perpendicular to the leg. So spin that up as well on this side. Take this whole assembly, this wings and treads and stuff. You want to take that whole assembly. It's on this white part, and you want to pop that off. That. You want to pop that off. You spin that all the way around. Make sure not to get it caught on the turret. I'm going to move this up a little bit. You want to pop that off and spin it around, and it's going to come back here. It's going to tab in this slot right here, and this little white part on the wing will rest in there. I also want to take this purple wing and unfold it like that. So now you got a full wing. And you take this, and right here, you want to take this gray part and fold it backwards. This peg hole will go onto this peg. Folds in half nicely like that. Do the whole thing, same thing on this side. Spin it around. Make sure not to get caught in the tank turret. Slot it in. That. Unfold the wing entirely, if you haven't already done so. And then at this gray part, fold the tank turret back, or treads back, and peg them onto this white part right here. Such. You also want to take these purple wings and flip them down. And right here, you want to take this whole section right here, fold it out, click it into place, spin the turret around, and fold it up. So the gun's facing forward, and then you take this part, open it up, flip out the nose cone. This is also where you put in the Titan Master. Thing is, it's a very tight fit, so just be aware of that. It's extremely tight and doesn't always like to close up properly, and it's really frustrating when that happens. But, you know, it'll fit in there. It's just a very tight fit, and you more or less have the jet mode right there. This gun can actually clip on to back here and peg in there. There's a little, so it pegs in and clips on like that. It's actually just nice and flush, so I don't mind it too much. And the sword can be clipped onto either wing or under either wing, right there. You know, use the hand holes for that, and you more or less got Blitzwing in his jet mode. The tank turret does have the little wheels molded in. They don't spin, but they are molded in, so you can sit like that. It's actually a nice looking jet. I really like this thing. I like the tank mode well enough, but I think the jet mode is where he really shines. It's really nice looking overall. Yeah. You know, it's a nice, it looks great. You know, it's a nice, really nice purple, little red detailing right here. There's little red stickers, and there's a sticker unfortunately, but it's still nice looking. You got the stickers, the Decepticon stuff, the silver wings. The sticker wings are kind of like, I don't like the stickers, but there's not really much you can do. I mean, I appreciate it. I mean, I can see fingerprints on them. They're wrinkling up at the edges because of the transformation and stuff. It's just like, oh man, Hasbro, why? I would have preferred these to be unpainted over stickers, but whatever. There's Titan Master pegs actually right here and here. I believe there are some on the tank. Oh yeah, those are all in the back of the tank, but it's nice. A common problem I'm seeing, one of these arms, this one right here, you notice, I somehow got it to tab in properly, but it's also really easy to accidentally unseat it, and then it doesn't like to tab. This has been a common problem. Apparently the Megatron also had this problem. But it is possible to get his seats more or less correctly. It's just really difficult to do so. Sometimes it just likes to untab itself, and there's not much you can do about it. Somehow I got it here, but sometimes it'll also just pop itself back out, and there's not, again, it really stinks that this happens, but there's really not much you can do about it. I'm not sure what the problem exactly is. It seems like a tab is hitting where it shouldn't, but some people shave down the tab. Other people say you can do it without shaving down the tab. I don't know. I'm just not going to worry about it too much. I can get it to sit more or less correctly. But yeah, that's a jet mode. It's a really nice jet mode, and I like it a lot. It looks great, and it looks like Blitzwing. So I mean, yeah, there's tank stuff, but that's just kind of par for the course for a triple changer. But anyway, yeah, that's that. So we're going to go ahead and get that Titan Master out. Yeah, I noticed he kind of came up with the cockpit, but getting him out of there so we can finish transforming him to robot mode. Yeah, and to do so, well, first we got to actually open that back up. And this is actually really stiff, is this thing. You want to open that up, fold that nose hole back in, close it up. And you want to take that, you know, this tank turret, move it down so you can fold this back up, because it needs to be like there. Then you take the tank turret up here and you fold it up. There's a little tab. There's a little tab right here that goes in this slot right here. Like that. That's the tank turret folded up. Then you want to untab this whole white. Okay, yeah, get these folded back up so they're out of the way. Then you can untab this whole section, move it back around, clip it back on up here. Same with this side. flip it around, clip it back on up here. And from there, I'm going to go ahead and move this part up like such. Click into place. I'm going to move this up because that was, I'll probably show on camera. You take that part and you move it up and it'll snap into place. So you want to peg that, all this stuff from the sides. Take this up here, this kind of rests on here like this, and you fold that down, and you fold this tread around, you fold it in half like that, and that'll become the arm. You spin this like this so the hand's facing forward, and then you take everything ahead of the hand and fold it back. It'll click back into place like that. That's one arm done. Do the same on this side, fold it up, spin that around, fold that back behind the arm, and those are the arms done. Now for the legs, suppose, the Hasbro instructions do, I know this is for G, if you want G1 correct, you want to leave those out like they are, but I like them like that. That's how the instructions tell you to do it, but you do you. And then from there you want to, anyway, you split the legs. They also are tabbed in right here. There's a little slot right here that both legs are tabbed into. You want to do, by the way, and then I'll get to them in a bit. From there, open these panels up. Then you can open up the legs. There's a little tab. There's a little tab right here. It goes in a little slot right here. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but there's a little slot right there in this part of the leg, which it goes into. Then you can also spin the foot around. It's easier if you just use that part. Spin the foot around, and you can close that back up. Same on this side. Open it up. Open up the leg. Now here's the deal also. Okay, that came out just fine, but going back, this tab right here is also supposed to go in this slot right here. This tab in this slot. It doesn't always like to line up properly, and it can be kind of a pain in the butt. And then you also have to line up, so that tab goes in that slot, and you can see this is a little beat up. And that's for some reason, it doesn't always like to fold up properly. I don't know why. You move that foot back out, close that up, but yeah, I like to, at this point, the instructions like to tell you to completely fold the wings up. I like to fold it up at this first hinge right here at the gray, where it meets the white, and then fold it outward at the second hinge, just to give them a little bit of clearance. So again, this white hinge, fold it back, and then this second purple hinge right here, fold it forward. So he's got his wings still, and then got him stood up. Move the camera slightly so it's not pointing up. And then, of course, take the Titan Master, fold in half like usual, and plug it in right here. And there you go. You got Blitzwing in his robot mode. Oh yeah, there's one last thing you're supposed to do. Right here, there's a little button. You're supposed to flip those up. I don't like it. And also, on mine, they don't like to stay down unless you fold them down first, hold them down, and then click that back up into place to lock it in. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be that way or what. And this wing. On mine also, this wing likes to pop off. I think I accidentally ground down the pegs a little bit. So that's also really loose. That wing's also really loose, unfortunately. But yeah, here's the thing. Despite all these little problems I've been complaining about, I still really like this figure. Like, seriously, I still really like this figure. I think it's a really good Voyager. It's just, or at least the design and sculpting is good. The problem is there's these weird little QC things, like for some reason, these tabs on the legs and the wing and stuff are just kind of weird, and I don't like that, and it's annoying. But Blitzwing looks great. I love this thing. I've never had a Blitzwing before, so this is my first time with the character, and I really like this mold. I know there's a Megatron version. I know some people prefer the Megatron version of this mold. I like this Blitzwing a lot. I like the colors. I like the purple. I like the red and yellow detailing. I like the little bits of tan detailing, like everywhere. He just looks really good. I also like this face. I mean, it's a good face It's yellow, you know, the yellow helmet, purple face, red visor. It looks really good. Just all this stuff just looks really good. And there's a little bit of gray right there in the middle, just to break things up a little bit. It's just a really good figure, in my opinion. And of course, he comes with his weapons. He got his sword, like that. And he's got this cannon, which, you know, you can put here in his hand. But you can also take this thing to the tank turret, pop it off. Make sure to pay attention. This part has to be facing up. You have to look at it. Make sure it's facing the correct direction. There, it is keyed back here. It is keyed, and it has to. You can slide it over the front of this gun, and thus have a longer rifle if you want. So yeah, that's a great little thing in of itself. So he looks phenomenal. Its transformation is actually pretty fun and intuitive as well. I like the transformation. I like how the whole both sides of the tank spin around and fold backwards before the jet and everything. I actually like how the jet looks despite all the tank kibble underneath it. It just looks really good, and it just looks nice, such imposing profile. I mean, he's got these big, wide arms and everything. I mean, yeah, he's supposed to have those little stupid little head things on the side, but I don't like those. I like how it looks without them. I'm glad it looks good without him too. It doesn't really suffer too much from small head syndrome. So anyway, Poseability though, he can look left and right. It's the ball joint and return ball joint. It can kind of look, you know, kind of go back and forth. Not super well, but it can do so. Arms, forward, back. It's on this. This is actually rotating at the white part. Then outward, out there at that part. It's a little weird looking, but I'm okay with it. He's got a bicep swivel right there. Arms can go 90 degrees forward. Slightly more than 90 degrees forward. No waist joint. These Voyagers I've noticed don't have waist joints. I can see why he doesn't. I mean, this right here, it's attached at the waist and has to come up here, and there's no way to really do a waist joint without some crazy extra engineering, which should just bring the price up, unfortunately. But that's how it is, and I don't really mind too much. Hips though, he can actually kick way up. You can see that. This is way up. Kick. You can go way far back, so that's a lot there. It's outward, full splits. That's good. Thighs. These are really tight thigh swivels, like really tight. I have to grip up way up here, else it just feels like I'm going to bend something. But they're nice and tight. That's, I guess, good. Knees, 90 degrees, although if you really want to start untransforming, you can also unpeg it and get a little bit more. If you really want to go crazy, you can open that up and go really crazy, but then it starts looking really bad, and I would not do that. But yeah, you can, if you want to, you can unpeg it and go more than 90. But if you keep it pegged in, you still get 90, so that's good. And feet, you got a little bit of toe. Actually, a lot of toe. But no side to side, unfortunately. But he's sculpted with an A stance in mind, so he still lines up looking good. And I really like this figure. I think it's honestly my favorite Voyager I have from the Titans Return line. No joke, no hyperbole. This is probably my favorite Voyager. I know he's got his faults. I know, like I said, the legs don't like to tab in properly. The one of the arms isn't tabbing properly in the jet mode. One of the wings is loose and likes to pop off. But he looks so good and he's so fun to transform. I can overlook that. That's the thing, really. It's like other figures, yeah, you can, oh yeah, it's like, oh no, it's kind of bad because of this thing, and it's really bad. For me, the rest of him is so great that his problems, I can overlook them. So I really like this figure. I would honestly recommend picking up him or Megatron. Just get a version of this mold. It doesn't matter. There's flaws, yes, but I think the positives far outweigh them. At least in my opinion. If that sort of stuff really bugs you, yeah, I can understand why you might not want to pick this up. But I think it's worth it. I really love this thing. And yeah, it's a really good one and my favorite of the Titans Returns Voyagers. So yeah, it's a good Blitz Wing, I think. It's a great Blitz Wing. It's better than that last one we got, which had a tendency to not work right. I think it's a great Blitz Wing. It's a great figure. It's a great Voyager. I highly recommend it. And yeah, I'm starting to run along, so I guess that's that for this review. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this was informative in some way. And I'll see you next time.